And welcome back to Soccer Talk with the Albuquerque Sol. It's brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. Got the president of the Sol, Ron Patel. I'm JJ Buck, and now we're joined by Michael L. from the American Outlaws Albuquerque Chapter. You see them all the time when you turn on a national game, marching in the stadium, filling the stands, and yes, there's an own chapter right here in your backyard. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing good, and thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
And it's been a big summer, of course, with Copa America. There's the United States women's national team in the Olympics, and I'm sure you guys definitely see an uptick in interest during times like this.
Absolutely. The Copa America was a great tournament. The U.S. did very well making it to the semifinals, which we were obviously proud of. The guys getting so far and really winning the group, and then doing well against Ecuador, and you know, losing a very, very close game to Colombia, unfortunately, in the third place game. We won't talk about the Argentina game. That's been erased from my memory. However, the turnout was amazing. The support was amazing. We love the fact that people in this community love soccer as much as they do. And there's a big support for the U.S. men's national team and women's national teams as well. How did you get involved with this chapter? And of course, how did the Albuquerque chapter come about? Right. Well, I got involved with the Outlaws before there was even a chapter. I joined a little bit before the 2010 World Cup, just realizing that I loved American soccer. I've loved American soccer ever since 1990 when they made the first World Cup in 50 years, and I was just a diehard fan. I played overseas for about 6 years myself, and when I came back to the U.S., nobody knew about soccer. No one could tell you who won the 1998 World Cup at all, ever. And so I was by myself. And the Outlaws were started in 2007 by a bunch of guys in Omaha, Nebraska. And basically it has grown to 190 chapters all over the U.S. since then. The Albuquerque chapter got started by a guy named Neil and Wes, who got together and basically decided to start a chapter here, got a few guys together. They started watching games at Brickyard, and that started in 2011, I believe. And since then, we've gone from 25 members to about 90 members so far, and we see that membership continue to grow. It's pretty amazing.
It's funny, I was on a business trip during the 2010 World Cup, and I was in El Paso, Texas, and we'd had a good day of work. We went out and had a few too many drinks after work, and I got home and I started YouTubing soccer videos, as us soccer fans do all the time. And I started, it was during the World Cup, so I was watching U.S. soccer videos, and I got excited, and I started Google searching, and I found American Outlaws. And I'm like, wow, this is great. $25, that's it? And I get a scarf, and I get a whole, this is the Outlaw scarf, of course. And I get all this stuff, and I get a year membership, so I just did it right then. I signed up in the hotel room.
Absolutely.
I wasn't a chapter in Albuquerque yet, and then a couple years later, I found them when they were at Brickyard. And I was like, this is great. I've got like an outlet to go to and watch soccer with people. So I'm an outlaw and a huge fan of what the Outlaws stand for.
And you look at the American Outlaws, and he mentioned joining it. What does that entail?
Basically, you can go, it's $25. You will get a shirt. They have a national shirt that they release every year. You get a bandana, much like was on the graphic of on our t-shirts here. That's kind of the traditional way to wear it, American flag bandana. And with the $25 membership, you get a variety of discounts on airfare, hotels, tickets to games, if you can make it out, and then a variety of other soccer.
How many jets did they take to Brazil for the World Cup?
Oh man, there was a ridiculous. I mean, they had so many chartered jets. I want to say it was at least 3. I know 3 full 747 chartered jets were filled with Outlaws. We're not even talking about the other American fans who made their own way there, but just Outlaws made it there. There is such a commitment. If you go to theamericanoutlaws.com, you can sign up. Of that $25, $5 comes to the local chapter. And with that $5, we're able to do things like host watch parties. We're able to get events put together. We're working on a variety of things. And as the membership grows, we're looking for input and insight from other members of the soccer community to really help figure out what we can do with that money. It's a nonprofit corporation, really. And we want to help soccer grow in any way we can. And
so for those that haven't seen it, so like what what do you expect when you're watching an Outlaws? Do you just go? Does everyone sit around a table and watch the game?
Oh boy! First of all, there's no sitting. There's no sitting. And if you see me, I'm pacing back and forth frantically,
Yes,
like a neurotic idiot. However, it's just because there's so much passion. We chant. We have certain songs. It's like going to a proper soccer game overseas.
Yep.
We have a variety. We sing the national anthem. And that's obviously to start the game. And then we have a variety of both national and local chants that we have during the games. We obviously are a communal group of people. So even when somebody shows up with an Ecuador jersey at the game or a Mexico jersey, and that's fine.
So give them a chair, even though it might be in the corner.
Yeah, it might be in the corner. We might berate them when we beat them, but.
So if people want to find out more information specifically about the Albuquerque chapter, where can they go?
Well, we have a Facebook page. It's American Outlaws Albuquerque Chapter online, best way. We also have Twitter, Instagram. If you look up American Outlaws Albuquerque Chapter, you'll be able to find us.
And one thing that the Outlaws want to do for years that I'm glad the new regime has finally done is produce a local scarf.
Yes.
Let's show everyone this scarf.
Yes, thank you.
So that's the front side of it. It's a beautiful scarf that's available for purchase for members. And then I'm not sure how you pronounce that. If you could pronounce it for us.
That is the state motto.
Okay.
And I don't speak Latin or whatever that is.
New Mexican Latin.
Yeah, New Mexican Latin or anything. My German's good, but...
and you've got the crest on there that you see in the background here. It's a really cool scarf.
Absolutely. And we are actually, we're ordering more. We constantly have
sold out,
for
right?
them. We sell out.
Yep.
Yeah, they're really popular. So as we continue to grow, we'll continue to sell more. And that obviously goes back to the chapter and it goes back to the local community as well.
That's fantastic. Michael, thank you. Look
Thank you.
forward to the growth of the Outlaws and, of course, right here in Albuquerque. And we continue on Soccer Talk with the Soul. Have an interesting connection from Albuquerque and the PDL. We'll tell you about that next.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I really appreciate it. How are preparations going for the upcoming fall season?
Good. Yeah, we're waiting to get everybody back, which will be in about a week and a half. Start training on the 10th, and we got a lot of new players to see how they do after we lost 8 guys to from last year's team. So it'll be an interesting preseason.
Well, you've been preparing on campus for the new season. A lot of your guys have been around the country playing in the PDL this summer. What do you think the major benefit of playing in the PDL is for guys going out and getting ready for the fall season, coming back to Georgetown's campus?
Well, it comes at a critical time for what we do. I think the big picture for the soccer landscape in the U.S. and how everything fits together, it's that missing jigsaw piece for what our guys are doing for preparation. I think there used to be a time when PDL wasn't really around, way back in the day now, that you were always very concerned about sharpness coming into preseason, and now things have evolved with the PDL in particular to offer a platform for our guys to play as soon as we get done with our system. The end of April, beginning of May, they go immediately to a PDL team and spend May, June, and potentially a good chunk of July playing and getting match fitness. And it's a critical part. I think if we didn't have that opportunity for our guys, and I think we have over 90% of our team is doing some sort of summer training, and the majority of them are in PDL teams. Then they're coming into early August for preparation.
So it's something you definitely recommend to your players to get out there and do over the summer.
Yeah, no, we sit down with everybody, and I think some coaches maybe worry about players getting hurt, but there's risk walking down the street running into a fire hydrant, for getting hurt. I've done that before, and I don't think there's anything you can do to prepare just for injury. So you got guys have to play, and you can't live a life where you're sitting here saying we have to worry about so and so getting hurt. I mean, and that's just part of sport. And so when we sit down in the spring, typically in maybe March, early March, late February, we try to get a handle on everybody's summer, and the first question we ask is, well, how are you getting your soccer? Where are you playing? How are you doing that? And Everyone's got different geography needs. Some people are trying to take classes, some are trying to take classes at home. Some are wanting to stay at home, some are wanting to move around a little bit. But every single one of our players who wanted to play and had an opportunity to play was able to find a home, and has been able to do that for the last couple of years. So it's been fantastic for us, and we really get worried when guys aren't playing over the summer.
There's obviously a major coaching network around the country that interlinks between college soccer and the PDL. How useful is that for you to not only be able to stay in contact with your players over the summer, but get updates from their coaches, how they're doing, how they're progressing with their respective teams?
It's really good. I think, myself and my assistant Zach Samuel and Brian Gill, between the three of us, we have a lot of contacts with people out there, so we can pick up the phone and say, hey, we have a player who wants to be in your area and your team. Do you have space for him? Does he make sense for you? And then we get updates from how they're doing. So sometimes there's updates you don't really want, which is this guy's not working that hard, and we're not sure about how he's doing this. But for the most part, they're really positive updates about how the guys are playing, how they're fitting into the team, and we've actually started getting video links of some of our guys. Where you're seeing highlights of guys playing, which is new for this summer. But it's fantastic where we can really keep tabs on players, and then you forge nice relationships with coaches that maybe want those same players back, or if they have a good experience with our guys, they're asking for more players like them.
One of the guys that obviously has moved on since last season, who starred for you last year, starred for Reading United in the PDL as well, is Keegan Rosenberry. When you see what he's been able to accomplish stepping into MLS as a rookie, how does that make you feel?
Well, I think there's a lot of ways you can answer that question. I think obviously we're thrilled for him and all of our guys who've moved on into the MLS ranks. But Keegan's a really good example of when things work right in the system. And for when I mean the system, how all the pieces of U.S. soccer fit together, where you have a high school system, a club system, a developmental academy system, all hopefully working together up into the college ranks, and then the college ranks and the USL and the PDL all fitting together to work up into an MLS rank, and it moves up the ladder in a really positive way. And Keegan's a great example of someone that really progressed well through his college years to a point where he was as professional a player as you're going to get before he became a professional, and that meant he was training really well with us. Whenever school's in session, he was playing. And whenever school wasn't in session in the summers, he was really with Reading, and in a very, very professional environment. So he would go right from us and spent the summer, with a very high level of player, with very high level coaches, with the Philadelphia Union, eyes are on him, and I don't think there's any coincidence that's parlayed him into a very, very good.
Right there was Brian Weise. So what a lot of people that aren't from the soccer community don't know, he actually played for the Albuquerque Academy. He went to Dartmouth University. He also coached at Stanford, Notre Dame, and now is the head coach at Georgetown. And what he's really talking about there is I guess, the validity of the PDL model. PDL, of course, being the league we play in. It's technically the fourth division of the U.S. soccer pyramid, but it provides a platform for college players and other international players, like Jack we heard from earlier, who's also international and played in college, to go out in the summer and stay in shape and get ready for that college season. Or there's certain players that are already out of college that are still trying to make it to the pros. So I think what's the cool thing about that interview is Brian talks about the value that has to the college coaches. And there's definitely college coaches out there that are afraid, like he said, that their players are going to get hurt. I mean, they could get hurt in a game of pickup soccer just about anywhere. But they get in the tip-top shape over the summer. And we kind of make it almost a sales pitch, I guess, to a college coach that, hey, come to altitude and train your players at altitude for the summer. So.
And it's great to see that, from a prominent college coach, a very successful university, at Georgetown University, to have that kind of backing for the PDL. It helps the league, of course, helps you guys grow. But to have that trust, you need that in any relationship to continue to build, not just what you guys are doing with the Soul, but the PDL as well.
Yeah, PDL does such a good job. I mean, when we started the team, there's other leagues we could have put our team into as a semi-pro soccer franchise, but we saw the PDL as the most professional, the one that they call it the pathway to pro, the path to pro. Pro is the hashtag they use. It's owned by the United Soccer Leagues, which is the next level up, which we've been very vocal about in trying to become a pro franchise in USL by 2018. And I just think it's the right league to be in. There's other leagues out there, and not to knock on those leagues at all. We just felt like the PDL was the most professional league and the league we needed to play in to represent our talent correctly.
And of course, you guys did wrap up the summer season. That is the PDL. We just watched a championship game where Michigan was victorious. But the great thing about the Albuquerque Sol and what you're trying to build in this community is that, well, the soccer season might be over game-wise. The season never ends for you guys.
It's not. I mean, the cool things about having, you know, Larry and myself in Albuquerque, I think we're just kids. But at heart, we're just kids that love soccer, and we started this thing as building a soccer team. And what we've realized is it's so much more and so much bigger that we wear this crest on the left side of our chest over our hearts on purpose because of how much we love our city and what this crest stands for. But at the same time, we've seen all these different opportunities come up just from starting a soccer team. When you talk about our nonprofit foundation, which recently received our 501c3 status, we've got we want to help fund after school programs. We want to fund an academy, a youth academy where kids can come in and learn life the Sol way. There's so many different ways that we can go with this, and so many different opportunities throughout the year. We're doing the foot golf event that's coming up soon. I know you're going to be out there kicking the ball.
Excited. Now, the only question is, we talked with Jack Clancy earlier.
Right.
Are any headers involved, or is it kicking only?
Unfortunately, Jack won't be able to use his head out there. He could if he'd like, but he's not going to advance the ball as far as when he's going to kick it. So.
And that's coming up Saturday, September 10th, U.S. Bank Foot Golf Tournament. And it'll quickly, if people are wondering, foot golf, you just kick a golf ball around?
Yeah, it's like a golf tournament, except instead of swinging the club, you're kicking a soccer ball. It's BYOB. Okay, bring your own ball. And if you want to get a new Adidas ball when you register, you can get an MLS replica Adidas ball to play in the tournament. Want to give a shout out also to our partners at NB3 Foundation. They're our nonprofit beneficiary for the event. So a portion of the proceeds will be going to NB3, who fight childhood obesity throughout New Mexico and throughout the tribes and pueblos throughout the state. And then U.S. Bank, we're huge in stepping up to the plate and saying, you know, we want to be involved. We want to have our name on this tournament. And they're going to be guests on the show and future shows here at Soccer Talk.
It's fantastic. Like I said, the soccer season, it never ends. Premier League getting ready to fire up with all the major leagues around the world. And I know you guys are going to continue to keep it going all year round.
Yeah, we love it. And that's the nice thing about soccer. There's, you know, you help us out on the radio with the soccer minute every day on your morning show. And that's because soccer never ends. There's, like you said, there's content year round. There's all the leagues around the world. There's stuff going on in the community. And just want to say thanks to the community as we try to grow this.
And we'd also like to say thanks to all our guests today, including Kelsey Bishop from New Mexico Pinon Coffee, proud sponsor of Soccer Talk with the Sol, of course, for Jack Clancy, as well as Michael L. from the American Outlaws, Albuquerque Chapter, Larry Espinosa, Ron Patel. It's been a blast. And remember, everybody, soccer season never ends, so keep it tuned right here for what's coming up next.